the answers, no good answers. I could find you, I could find
From the Sporting News Studios, this is Hot Corner with your host, Matt Latevsky.
I got all the answers, all the answers. I could find you, I could find all the answers. If you let me get it close and study you.
Back again for another big week here with fantasy baseball enthusiast and DAZN employee Eric Ferreira.
That's me.
Sporting News
Super
senior fantasy.
enthusiastic about all the rain this week and guys out of lineups.
Yeah, it's been a rainy week. Well, for one series, it's been a rainy week and been a few guys in and out. Guys back in though, Stanton and Judge.
No, not today.
Not today.
Stan needed that day. He needed the Monday travel day. He had that nice 0 for 4 yesterday.
Right.
And out of lineup today. Needs to rest up.
Yeah, you got to.
I was waiting for it. It took him 4 at-bats to hit a ball forward last night. He had the foul pop up.
How
for
good
his
a first
value
value is he going to be next year, though?
2 Ks.
He's going to be great value next year.
Yeah.
At what point do people sort of, not give up on him, of course, but does he get like that permanent stigma?
He already had it.
Yeah, well, kind of.
And then he had the one great year.
Right, that's how it always works with those guys.
That's how they get you.
That is. All right, so we're going to go through, like we always do, we got some streamers, we got some stats we want to look at. We're kind of going a little esoteric with this stat. I don't know how many people it's really going to help, but I like it. Of course, we have closers. We'll hop on the carousel. Start with waiver
Well, we were
pickups.
supposed to start with one of our little bets last week.
Right.
I had it written in my notes to start with John Duplantier
Oh, yeah.
versus Framber Valdez. And
then old
Buzzkill,
Yeah.
Duplantier
yeah, didn't
got
pitch.
scratched, so that's no fun.
He probably wouldn't have been better than Framber.
No,
though.
definitely not.
Well, but definitely. It's not like he threw a no-hitter, but
No, definitely.
I don't think definitely.
Well, potato.
Okay, I mean, it's not. But, yeah, we can't go over that, unfortunately. There was one other one we had.
Yeah, I checked on that one. It's the catchers. It's the Alfaro homers versus Elias Diaz homers.
Yeah.
There have been none hit.
Zeros, right?
Since then, yeah. But I did add it to our little board.
Right. Francisco Mejia hit a homer, though. Neither of us have him, though.
No.
Okay.
Okay, that's random. I added it to our
I
little
always
board.
confuse Francisco Mejia and Jorge Alfaro because they were like kind of both prospects at the same time. And
Actually, a lot of our little board bets are pretty close.
yeah, well, not homers. Both the Abreu ones. Abreu's way ahead of the Devers.
I don't know. Devers is, it's only 17-12.
I thought it was more than that.
Oh, because Devers hits one every night now.
Nah, that's still way ahead. And then, but Aguilar's not. I mean, he's off the radar
he's done.
Completely.
He's
but
done.
yeah, I think most of the other ones are pretty close.
Not my Mike Moustakas will out homer the second base field.
Uh-huh.
That is smooth sailing.
Yeah, he's hurt now. Got hit in the hand.
Yeah, he's fine.
Who is second?
Out of the second baseman?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Second base eligible players, because that was the key to that one.
Muncy, maybe?
Yeah, Muncie's got to be up there.
Yeah, it's probably Muncy.
Yeah. So Moustakas, come on, that guy'll fade. Always does. I used him last night in DFS, and because a lefty was starting, but as a rookie, so I thought, I bet. First of all, Moustakas has good numbers against lefties this year. Like, they're almost identical to his righties numbers. And I was like, that guy will be out of the game. Rookie against the Brewers?
You're just assuming that.
I'm like, he'll get one at bat.
Brewers can't do anything on the road.
Yeah, remember when I was talking about starting guys against the Brewers?
I started them with confidence.
Yeah.
Lucchese the
And
other
you were
night.
like, no way, not against the Brewers. By the way, you know who's number 2 in homers among second base eligible guys? Only one behind Moustakas?
Who?
Ketel Marte.
Oh, yeah, it is ridiculous.
And Dietrich is at 18, but he's about to lose playing time because Scoots is coming back.
Well, I think they're going to find time for him.
Javi Baez only 4 back. Muncie's 4 back.
Yeah. We got a couple of new arrivals in the 10-10 club.
Yeah.
Tim Anderson finally got there.
Yeah.
He's 10-15 now. Trevor Story, 17-12. Starling Marte, 10-11. Mm-hmm. Whit Merrifield hit a couple dingers last night. He's up to 10-11.
Marte has more homers than 10, doesn't he? He only has 10 homers?
10-11, yeah.
Okay.
Merrifield hit his 10th last night. He's 10-11. Yeah, we got a bunch of guys at 9 with double-digit dingers. So the club's starting to get crowded.
It's a heck of a club.
I mean, Christian Yelich is in the VIP section of the
Blowing
club.
away that thing. Yeah. So, a lot to get to. We'll start with waiver pickups, and we're going to go back. We're going to circle back on a couple guys we talked about only a few weeks ago, some prospects who, would you say they started a little slow, they weren't really snapped up, or maybe they were right away and then dropped a little bit. But Kevin Biggio, Oscar Mercado, I feel like right now they're both playing pretty well. They're both doing exactly what we thought they were going to be doing.
That's because we're smart people.
Maybe. Or it's just we look at stats like anyone can do and
Right. Yeah,
reasonably.
No.
But you look at Biggio specifically.
Yeah,
a lot of walks, a lot of Ks.
He's got a 378 OBP.
Right.
He's got 5 homers, 2 steals, and 74 at bats.
Bad average, which we knew, which we already knew.
I didn't have him pulled up, but I think he's got a pretty low BABIP.
Right.
So there could be
But
some
I mean, like,
improvement
he
there.
just had a 2-homer game that obviously inflates the stats when you're dealing with that small a sample size. But overall, yeah, the guy's...
The weird thing with him is they haven't, like, he's literally in a different lineup spot
know.
every night, and you'd think that they would maybe settle on
somewhere.
some sort of, he's batting leadoff, he's batting cleanup, he's batting 7th. It's
just all over the board.
weird.
Yeah. And by the way, this is unrelated. It's semi-related because in my head I was about to make a comment about how the Blue Jays were going to start trading guys.
They're all young. Who are they trading?
Well, the older guys. But then Smoke got hurt. They got some veterans they can trade. But so they'll trade them, and then he'll settle into a spot, and it'll be regular the rest of the way. Edwin traded, like, the Mariners are trading guys, just like I said they were gonna, and you make fun of me for.
You're so smart.
I knew I nailed it. 2 of them.
What I don't get about these teams, and the Yankees just did it, so good for them, even though I don't like them. But why teams wait until the end of July to make a big move?
Right.
And now maybe it's the other team holding out for a best offer.
Right.
But do you want 3 and 4 months of a guy, or do you want 2 months of a guy?
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe you have to give up a little more.
Like,
do it now.
Just seems like if you want something, like, get it sooner.
Maybe you want to try out a prospect or someone
Yeah, and I know
else.
you're thinking maybe you can get by and you're evaluating or whatever, but yeah, it just seems like it's a much smarter move to go get what you need early. I mean, Phillies did it with Bruce. They've seen some returns from it. Yankees did it with
the Phillies were kind of spurred. There was an injury, right? But I think that happened. That might have happened. Did that happen before or after they traded for him technically? But either way, it was like there were things that
sure,
sped it up.
Sure, but I mean, Encarnacion already went yard last night, and it was another dinky Yankee Stadium variety.
Come on.
It was. It was like 8 rows back in right field.
The leader, that major league leader at home runs, and you're giving him
Listen,
the
I'm
dig
just saying
shots.
that one.
Or AL leader.
That one was a pop out in Fenway.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
All right, good to know. All right, but Biggio, speaking of getting a guy earlier rather than waiting, like, do you look at a guy like him and say, just grab him now? Like, maybe there's going to be ups and downs.
I mean, what would you get him for? Pop at second base?
I guess so, yeah. And a few steals.
Yeah.
An OBP league, way more value than an average league.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, he's solid. And Mercado,
2 more steals last night.
Right. I mean, he's up there. He's hitting over 300. The triple slash lines are good. He's actually been a little better than I thought he would be. And, another guy where I don't know. I just think he should be owned in almost every format.
I mean, he's batting second, I think, pretty consistently for them, which is a good spot.
He's playing well.
His walk rate's actually only at 4.5%, and in the minors, it's been over 10%. So that could even improve a little bit. And I don't care that much about that for a lot of guys, but when you're a speedster, you want to see those walks.
Yeah. So I think both those guys worth owning, should be owned in more leagues. There might be a little bit of a, well, how much better is he really? We always talk about a lot of times people overlook veterans sometimes for younger players. And I think these guys maybe, specifically more Mercado, because he isn't like that. We haven't been hearing about him quite as much. And he didn't start out hot right away, that bottom extra time, but now he is hot. So I think.
I mean, another one of your rookie guys from a few weeks ago that's killing it is my boy Brian Reynolds.
That's right.
He's killing. He's still hitting around 350.
But he was. See, that's a great example of a guy who was killing it. He was killing it in terms of hitting over 300.
Right. And you're like, I'm not buying. And
it's just kind of like, boring. And now it's like, why did I wait?
Right.
Classic, why did I wait? So now let's get to some sort of, I don't know if this guy qualifies as a crap bag, but he's been around. Been around the block. Colton Wong.
Yeah.
Cardinals. Sort of left for dead, had revivals, come back. So
I think we were pretty on point with this guy too, though, considering when we talked about him and where he's at now.
Right.
I mean, he was hitting, like 350 when we talked about him months ago, and now he's right back down to where he usually is, right?
240, 328 OBP, 382 slugging. Like, you look at the triple slash, you're like, okay, why am I wasting my time? But 7 homers, 13 steals. So you think about that, the pace is around a 14-26 pace. Right. I mean, even in this era of everyone hitting homers, like those steals give him a lot of value.
Right, at second, yeah.
Yeah, and he's walking a lot. He doesn't strike out much. Like, it's kind of confusing to me. He's not owned in more leagues.
Yeah, the walking thing I think is because he bats 8th a lot in the National League.
All right.
So
that's you like going to that.
Well, I think that stuff matters.
It does.
But the thing is, what's funny is that he probably would steal more bases if he wasn't batting 8th in front of a pitcher, which we've talked about this too. Why not just steal second and butt him to third?
Yeah.
But they don't do that. They just butt him to second. Yeah. So,
how about when Jorge Polanco, AL leader in batting average, first and second, no out, bunts?
The Twins had a little.
When they did that was a Gardenhire ball. I was like,
if they had a little hiccup to old Twins baseball.
And then because they're playing the Red Sox, so I texted you about it, and then you really drove them. You went right for the heart. And you were like, same old Twins. They'll choke in the playoffs. They've peaked.
I felt like you needed it. You
didn't even ease into that.
You needed to get knocked down a little bit.
Well, look, I tell you what, if they had a loss last night, 17 innings, that would have been.
Well, I'll tell you what, just in 2 games, I mean, I'm watching the Red Sox broadcast. I'm sure you're watching the Twins one.
Yeah.
And in 2 games, with Twins are the best offense in the league potentially, right? Red Sox are still a good offense. Pitching is kind of dominating the series.
It has, yeah. It's been surprising.
So I'm a little nervous tonight. I got Kyle Gibson going tonight, and I'm like, today's the day it's gonna be 10-8 tonight.
Well, but they're all tired, right?
Then it flips back to that way. I'm like,
they're all tired.
Get some regulars, some nights off.
But maybe they're still wired.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So who knows?
Yeah, who knows? But anyway.
Either way, looking at a big September between the Red Sox and Twins.
I mean, it's going to be like the Mayor's Cup.
The Mayor's Cup. I couldn't remember
September.
the name of it. I couldn't remember the name of it.
So Colton Wong, 22% owned in Yahoo leagues.
I almost texted you last night to be like, Cup? This ain't the Mayor's Cup anymore, man. This ain't Fort Myers.
You're in it now.
It's real.
Max Kepler hitting 13th inning home runs to tie the game.
Wong.
I feel like he should be owned more.
Yeah, he's all right.
You take the stats. Slowly but surely. Yeah. Who doesn't need 14 homers and 26 steals from second baseman?
I do.
Yeah, we all do. But he really doesn't do much else.
Right.
It's going to be runs, ribbies.
The bigger thing with him, I feel like he's finally not being like platoon this year.
Yeah.
Like he's playing pretty much every day. Right. And in the past, he's been messed with a little bit.
There was always a Jerko. Greg Garcia around. Who was there's someone else too.
Well, those were the most recent. Yeah. Jerko, Garcia. Back in the day, it would have been Descalso there, maybe.
He was always there.
They throw Matt Carpenter at second.
You got to move him around.
Yeah.
Jose Martinez
so the biggest thing, and I think, which is why we're probably going to see maybe 15-20.
Todd Zeal.
Is that he's going to play, health permitting, 150 plus games.
Yeah. He's killing lefties this year. I mean, not killing, but he's been better against lefties this year, considerably better against lefties. So there you go. Yeah, that's probably helping him. All right. So here's sort of
another nondescript pirate.
Very nondescript. Sounds made up.
This is like top of their lineup, Kevin Newman and Brian Reynolds.
Kevin Newman. They sound made up. So generic. And he's eligible, at least in Yahoo, at second and short. So you look at him, he's been playing almost all year. And he hasn't done much. And lately he's gotten hot and he's stealing bases. And that's his thing. He's a speed guy who has a good average. Like he's hitting over 300 this year. He's 25 years old. He stole 28 bases last year at AAA, and this year he only has 4 in 46
But you know what's weird about that?
But they've 3 of them have come in the last week.
But you know what's weird about that? You look at 2018, 28, yeah, that's a lot. 2017, 11.
Right.
2016, 10. 2015,
so what's
13.
The deal?
So where'd that 28 come from, and is he that guy?
That's a good question.
I mean, he's batting leadoff for them, which is good.
I mean, the guy's hitting 320.
It's hitting 320. Got a high BABIP though. I'm gonna be the BABIP police.
Well, but he's a speedster.
357. 357. Actually, 362 after last night's. But even though he's a speedster, look at his past ones. They're not.
I know.
They're not super high.
In the minors, he's really weird, and it's like, what is this player?
Yeah, because
at 25 years
Kevin
old,
Newman.
His name's Kevin Newman.
He was working at UPS last week.
He doesn't hit any homers. So no power. So for a pure speedster who might not be a speedster,
probably do better.
It's almost a pure average play at middle infield. Can you
runs play?
I mean, but not even. I mean, now I guess he's moved up. He hits leadoff all the time. Now he has 15. Because I looked at his numbers. I was like, he's played 46 games and he has 15 runs.
Yeah. What does he do?
But and it's all coming.
But you know what's hilarious about this? You know what's hilarious?
What did he do the first 2 months of the year?
He's got 20 ribbies, right?
Yeah.
So he's not a great hitter. Let's just say that. He's on the Pirates. He bats first in front of a pitcher. He's got 20 ribbies, which is more than Joey Votto.
Right. Is Joey Votto?
Anytime I can bring up Joey Votto and his horrendous stats, I'm going to do it.
Man, it's bad for Joey
How's
Votto.
Kevin Newman have more ribbies than you?
I don't know.
Like, that's insane.
It kind of is.
Yeah.
But Kevin Newman,
You have nothing to say to that.
I can't explain Joey Votto. I really can't. Like, how much contempt do the other players in that clubhouse must
gotta be.
have? But he's like the great leader. Elder
He's up to like
statesman.
260 now, so clearly he's gotten hot because he was sitting at like 208, but the ribbies aren't there. I don't know.
It's hot.
Kevin Newman.
Kevin Newman.
Sorry, I'm just getting you way off track.
I don't
today.
know what to make of Kevin Newman. He's a weird guy.
I don't see a real reason to pick him up.
It'd have to be a deep league for sure,
have to
with
be
the
a
middle
real deep
infield
league.
spot.
Yeah.
But it's like, don't you feel that you always need help? Like, you'd always need help at average, but we always talk about how you can't really pick up a guy just for average.
Right.
And this guy could
Here's the
steal
thing. This is a
bases
third second
and
baseman.
could score runs?
This is the third potential second baseman we've named already out of 4 guys. Biggio, Wong, Kevin Newman.
Right. Well, he can play shortstop,
Yeah.
though.
Who are you picking up?
Not Kevin Newman.
Yeah. So.
But maybe we should.
It's 16-team league. Are there people still playing 16-team leagues with middle
I
infield?
think 15. But the thing you need to look at, I think, is, okay, as dumbfounded as we are by the lack of stats, like, he is in a different spot now. He's leading off so it's like, he could be a 3-category guy. He could be run,
be.
steals, average the rest of the way.
With Brian Reynolds sitting behind him, absolutely.
Well, look, I mean, their top 5 is, if Kevin Newman and Brian Reynolds are legit, is pretty good. Josh Bell's awesome. Marte's playing well. Polanco's solid. You know, my boy Elias Diaz is going to start going homers, going
Do I know
yards
that?
soon. Like, we're up to like six guys in that Pirates lineup who aren't bad. I don't know.
Unless Kevin Newman's not good, and then he starts
very possible.
He starts subtracting.
I think Kevin Newman's more interesting than you think he is, but
Okay. Not with that name.
Yeah, that's
Now,
that's a bad name.
he'd be a lot faster if his name was Kevin Newman.
Way faster.
Much faster.
Way faster. All right, let's go old here. Guy who's
Okay.
he's gotten a little hot lately.
Okay.
Brian McCann, catcher, Braves.
Okay.
His triple slash for the season is like 300, 370, 515.
I know you're a guy who does his analysis. I'm sure you've clicked on his splits page.
Yeah. I'm well aware.
You got the splits?
This is
you got
very
the
much,
you got the 133 versus lefties and 327 versus
I don't
righties.
think he's going to be playing much for his lefties.
No, yes. So
know?
here's the thing, yeah.
But I mean, he's a catcher.
What's your ownership percentage on him?
Oh.
Because I feel like,
Why would I check that?
well, because it's waiver pickups and you don't put people on there that are
hold on.
80% owned.
No.
I just feel
It's
like,
not high.
which is a little surprising, but if you can,
11% on Yahoo.
if you can get a nice right-handed week for him, I mean, catchers are going to sit anyway, right?
Right.
But you get a nice, I don't know,
5-6 righties.
7-game week, 5 righties.
Right.
I have a
Yeah.
nice little week.
Because that's the thing. That's why he's even on here, right? Is he's a catcher. So I don't know what to make of it. It maybe he just had his little hot streak, and that's it. And he's not worth messing with. It's tough to say with catchers. But
It's kind of like take one when you need one.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not going to drop someone to grab them. Mm-hmm. You know, maybe if you have extra roster space, you got that good week coming, maybe your guy gets hurt. I'm not going to go out of my way to drop even Jorge Alfaro. I'm not going to drop Jorge Alfaro.
you
for him.
love him. But I was thinking about this. Should we treat catchers the way like I treat tight ends like this, and definitely treat defenses like this in fantasy football, where it's just all matchup all week? Like, should it just be, unless you have Sanchez or Grandal or
Yeah, I mean,
that handful?
I mean, typically for me on draft day, I treat draft day like that. I'm one of the last people
But
to
then you
take.
get in season and you don't swap every
I feel like I've always found a guy who's like
decent and you
okay
stick.
at
But
something.
maybe you could keep doing better. Like, especially in a weekly league. Like daily
Streaming's
league,
tough though because people get settled on their catchers and the cream rises to the top and you're just
But see, like, you keep talking about Jorge Alfaro, and he's fine. And he probably is, the 9th best catcher. But, like, if you specifically looked every week and were like, I'm going to play matchups, who's hot, who's matchups, I feel like you'd do better.
Well, but here's what I was saying with the who's out there thing.
Right.
What I'd be afraid of is when I go and make my drop to get the matchup guy.
Yeah.
When he's now not on a good matchup week.
Right.
If the catcher I dropped, say
There'll always be someone else.
I don't know catchers.
Yeah, there'll always be someone else. Look, you can go
don't
get
know.
Elias Diaz right now.
I don't know. I have a limited amount of transactions, so I can't.
Yeah, I mean,
and I'm already doing that with 2-star pitchers. And
that's the
closers.
thing. There's other factors, and there's just only so much time.
I kind of like to
to devote to.
I mean,
thinking about
unlimited
catchers.
transactions is different. Daily lineups is different. But I typically like to not draft a catcher high and then try and find a way to set it and forget it at least for a few weeks.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. But I don't know. I think if in our younger days we might have been more.
Well, when we played daily.
aggressive.
We played daily. I mean, that was just
Wild West.
the best.
I mean, we ruined fantasy
we
baseball
waited
for numerous people in this
about
office.
10 people in the
Yeah.
league. In a 12-team league, we ruined it for 10 of those people. Well, maybe 9 because there was someone who didn't care.
I don't know if we ruined it for everyone else. We ruined it for we had a staggering amount of 1-year people who'd come in for fantasy baseball.
Right.
That'd be fun. And then after a year, they're like, why would I ever play with you guys again?
Right. Well, it was like we could check a lineup
Yeah.
to make sure a platoon type guy was in it.
Right.
Pick him up, play him, grab a homer or a steal,
Yeah.
drop the guy the next day, and do it all over again.
I'm at the end of the year looking at the games played where you and I had maxed out at every position.
Yeah.
And everyone else was like, well, yeah, we literally had 200 more games than you.
Yes.
So no, you can't win.
Well, you can't win runs or ribbies for
Right.
sure.
Yeah, maybe a rate stat.
Yeah, 100% you can't win one of those two stats.
Probably homers and
Those
steals.
are the days, though, man. I'd go back to that in a second.
I feel shame when I look back at that time in my life. All right, let's get to a couple pitchers. We talked about him last week. Your boy came through. One of our few good weekend streaming picks last week. It was rough. We finally had that real bad week, I feel. But anyway, Framber Valdez for the Astros. He's in the rotation now. How long he sticks there, I think, is always a question, but for now, looks good. The numbers are solid across the board. They were pretty solid last year. The standard numbers were solid in his limited time last year. Advanced numbers not so kind to him because the walks were really high. They're still a little high right now, but manageable, I think, for a guy with a very high ground ball rate, which you like. K rate's good enough, 8.3 per 9. You can live with that. Doesn't give up a lot of homers, never has. That's always been his thing, is he doesn't give up a lot of homers. So I think there's a lot of reason to like this guy. Obviously, you like the team. You think he's going to have a good shot at wins most times out. Is he, we always talk about this with young pitchers. They're going to be up and down.
No, I like him. He's definitely had 2 good starts. I worry a little bit. It was Baltimore and Toronto.
Exactly.
He's got Yankees next in the next couple days.
I don't like that one.
Yeah, we'll see where that goes.
Well, actually, you know what? They're bad against lefties. They're 26th in weighted runs created plus against lefties.
Okay.
But now they just added Stanton and Judge again if they play. I mean,
And Encarnacion.
yeah. So I mean, we probably really have
Careful
to
with those splits.
radically rethink that number. But at least so far this year.
Yeah, we'll see what he's got
Surprisingly.
against them, and he's definitely a matchup streaming play for sure.
Yeah.
Might even be a hold.
I think he's a hold.
I mean, everything you said, good team, good strikeouts.
Yeah, there's nothing where you look at his advanced numbers, really anything that jumps out as worrisome. Now, he's only had 2 starts. He had 14 relief appearances too, but he's only had 2 starts. So it's that can change in a real hurry. And like you said, they were great matchups.
Right.
So, but for now, I probably would have picked him up, and I'd probably be holding him until I see 2 bad starts in a row. Until I see real signs of trouble.
Yep.
I might hold him out. Now, here's another young pitcher. We always go back to the Marlins. They got
a little pitching
interesting.
staff. They got a little pitching staff.
For a team that never wins games.
They don't.
But Jordan Yamamoto, come up here, 2 starts. He's a 23-year-old righty. He's good in the minors, good track record. However, and I always hate this is a massive red flag for me, is the never pitched at AAA guy.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're lights out stud, right? Going back to the Marlins, like Jose Fernandez, if you're that type of, hey, this is a blue chip, we got to rush this guy.
Or there's a bad park or league in AAA that they keep you away from.
Something like that. But through 2 starts, right? 14 innings, so averaging 7 innings a start, which is already impressive. Hasn't allowed an earned run anyway. K rate 7.7 per 9. It was better in the minors. That could go up. This past year at AA it was 8.8, so that wasn't great. But the years before,
Double digits.
Yeah,
Nice.
2018 it was well over 10.
He really
close
moved
to
up
11.
fast.
Yeah.
He only even had last year 17 AA innings.
Right.
This year 65, and now he's in the big leagues.
Yeah. I mean, he's allowed 5 hits and 4 walks and 14 innings in his 2 starts.
I mean, in 2018, he went from rookie ball to AA.
Yeah. Both starts are against the Cardinals, who are slumping right now as a team offensively. But I still think it's kind of interesting that he started against the same team, the guy who has never pitched at AAA, first 2 major league starts, same team twice in a week, and shut him out both times.
Kind of hurts my Corbin Burns argument from earlier in the year, doesn't it?
Well, they're a different team then.
couple of numbers just throw out there. Admittedly, small sample size.
Very
small sample size. Let me throw a 156 BABIP at you.
Right.
And let me throw 100% left on base rate at you.
Yeah, well, yeah, sure. I mean, he's not a ground ball. Like, ball goes in the air against this guy. That's a worry at the major league level, even in a good park. He's going to start giving up some homers. He didn't give up a lot of homers in the minors, but yeah, this seems like a guy, 8.8 swinging strike rate through 2 starts, not great. I feel like this guy's going to fall off a cliff and fall hard when he does, but there's no reason to think that other than just inexperience.
Yeah, I mean, I would also add that he's got that ballpark backing him up for home games. Careful with the road games. Right. Careful against the good offenses.
Careful against non-Cardinals.
Careful against good offenses. Careful on the road.
So right now,
tread lightly.
He's a streamer.
Tread lightly.
Right? This isn't a guy you're picking up going, I got a gem. You're like cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
I'm streaming.
Tread lightly.
Tread lightly. We're all going to tread lightly. All right. We're going to move into our stat corner segment, and we're going, we've talked high BABIP, low BABIP, pitchers, hitters, all this different kind of stuff. We're moving to the least appreciated.
Where'd you come up with this one?
Oft forgotten position in fantasy baseball. In baseball, the middle reliever. No one talks about him. Hey, you don't get saves, you don't get wins. What do I need you for? But sometimes you need them, right?
I guess it depends. It kind of depends on your
settings.
Your settings.
Weekly, it's tougher in weekly, I think.
It might even depend on your closers.
Right. So this is really the reason I wanted to bring this up. That's the real question.
Why are we doing middle reliever K per 9?
Do they have value? Do these guys super high strikeout middle relievers, right? And normally, if you're this high of a strikeout guy, you should have decent peripherals. Now, not all these guys do. But, you think, okay, you're getting a ton of Ks. As long as you can not walk a ton of guys, too, you should be able to help a team in 3 categories. Pick up the occasional win, maybe pick up the occasional save. But is that even worth it to have a roster spot?
It totally depends on the rest of your team.
So I'm just going to run down.
Daily leagues with no innings max.
Right.
Or actually, no, innings max is fine because you get a high K rate for not a lot of innings.
So that's why we look.
So daily league in general, absolutely great. Use them.
Right. So Nick Anderson for the Marlins, who I would bet a lot of people are like, I don't know who that is.
Or maybe should be closing over Sergio Romo.
Well, there's that too. But 15.5 K per 9. He has the highest non-closer K rate. Because I think Hader's higher, someone else is higher, but I think he might be third among relievers who pitched at least 20 innings. Now, the rest of his numbers aren't great, though. Like, it's kind of surprising. He's not like a lights-out guy. So does that type of guy have any value? He's got a 4.55 ERA right now.
I mean, for me, when we used to play with these guys a lot, because we used to, this was part of our strategy back in the day.
Yeah.
I like the idea of guys who
rack up Ks,
have a shot at closing.
Right.
So
so you're really factoring that in. Like, that might be a deciding factor for you.
I think so. Unless the guy, and I guess if this guy's the highest K per 9 guy, then he's worth that consideration. But I guess my thing would be, you better be the tippity top guy if you're not sniffing saves. If you're somewhere in the middle and you're not sniffing saves, it kind of becomes, I don't know how worth it is.
Yeah, I'd rather waste innings. All right, I'm going to run down the rest of these guys, see if any names jump out to you. Jose Leclerc, former closer. We think we'll be closing again at some, but
there's one to take a shot on.
Yeah, he's 14.1 K per 9. Josh,
just because you think the closer thing could be there.
Could be. Josh, he was awesome last year too.
Right.
And obviously
he'll probably find it at some point.
Josh James, Astros, 14 K per 9. This is a guy going into the year, thought, maybe he'll start. Doesn't look like that's going to happen now the way, Valdez has emerged, different guys like that. But 14 K per 9. Jake Diekman, Royals. Now that's a lefty, 13.5. Another team where you think maybe like, hey, they don't really have a closer, but Kennedy's been really solid now lately. Tommy Conley, this is a guy who has been really good in the past, down year, now back over 13 K per 9. Andrew Miller, that was a classic, but boy, has he kind of dropped off in overall quality. 13.1 K per 9. Trey, this is a boy we talked about preseason.
We like this guy.
Big Trey Wingetter.
Wingetter.
It's not how it's pronounced.
This guy will get you 3 wins.
Is it Wingenter or Genter? I don't even know. But
I don't know.
13 K per 9. Giovanni Gallegos, Cardinals, 13. That guy has lights out numbers.
Well, they threw at him some starts, right? And he wasn't very good in the rotation.
But he's an interesting guy. Like, he's got some real nasty numbers. Amir Garrett, Reds, lefty, 12.9. Reyes Maranta, which is a pretty sweet name. Giants, 12.7. K per 9. When you look at any of those guys, is it just the same thing? You're like, Like, do you see any future closers in there?
Leclerc's interesting.
Right.
James is a few guys away from closing for the Astros.
For sure.
Conley's a few guys away from closing for the Yankees. The Cardinals bullpen's a little. I don't think it's as settled as you think, but I'm not sure Miller's.
It feels like Gant and Martinez, and then obviously Hicks.
Right, and they're talking about Martinez maybe going back to starting.
I feel like we go back and forth on that all the time.
So I don't know him.
Wingy.
I don't think you're breaking up the back end of that bullpen.
Right.
Gallegos, like I said, was starting. Wasn't good when he was starting.
Right.
Where's Maranta coming in for the Giants? Because, your boy Will Smith's getting traded.
No, he's getting traded to the Twins. I'm actually calling that one.
So is Maranta eighth in it?
At that point,
coming
why
in?
not, right?
Is he throwing the eighth in?
I'm not 100% sure right now. Because they have some veterans at the back end of that bullpen. But, once they start dismantling and trading, I feel like, well, why not?
Yeah, he's the lowest guy on the list.
Yeah.
But he, someone that no one's thinking about. Mm-hmm. But when your boy Will Smith gets traded
to the Twins, that's when I'm actually putting a team on it. Let me look up old Ray. I love that name. Sounds like a character from like Narcos.
Reyes Maranta?
Yeah.
From the Maranta family?
It sounds like he's pulling.
The Maranta crime family?
He's doing some stuff you don't even want to know about. So I look at his games. He's pitching 6th and 7th.
Yeah.
When he comes in.
It's tough. You can roll the dice. You can roll the dice for some wins here and there, but I don't know. I always feel like it's guys that aren't on teams.
But another guy where it's like, doesn't have a great whip. And that's kind of the weird thing. Like, I never know how much really ERA with relievers. We're still at the point where if they just had 2 bad outings. But, like, I do think whip is something you can kind of look at, like 1.32 whip. Like, you want sub 1 with those types
you look at these guys, and we've talked about, like, for instance, the Red Sox closers, right, the last few weeks. I'd rather have a Workman, Brazier. Walden maybe. Because they are throwing those guys into save situations here and there.
And they can grab one or here or there. Same with like the Rays guys.
Right.
Although that really, when has Pagan even gotten a save last night?
It's been Castillo for a while, but it's because Alvarado was gone.
Right.
But we'll talk about that later. But these guys, I don't know if any of them, you might luck into a win here or there.
Yeah. But it's just not worth the roster.
Anderson would be interesting because Romo's not good, but Anderson's numbers aren't great either besides the case.
Right, exactly. So this is where, though, if you were in a saves plus holds league, a solds league, which, I'm all for, and I think we should. Now, all of a sudden, these guys have more value.
Well, then, because I think James is a good pitcher.
Yeah.
Conley's a good pitcher. Mm-hmm. Miller's probably still a good pitcher.
Do you want that? Because you've never played in a solds league, right? Yeah. And I've been pushing this for, I feel like 8 years I've been talking about this. Do you want a league where it's more open to guys like this? Or are you happy with,
I hate chasing closers. I hate chasing closers.
I'm worried about my catcher as it is. I don't need
So, I'm fine with anything that, limits running after closers.
Wouldn't you rather own some of those guys than...
You have to have a lead to get a hold, or can you hold a tie game? You can't hold a tie game, right? It's a save situation, and you got to hold. Yeah, and does everyone get it from, the 5th inning on?
Yeah, there's certain things, but more or less.
It can't be worse than just saves, right?
Yeah, that's what I say. I say, more stats. Yeah. Make it better, especially when you have a stat as stupid as saves. All right, let's go weekend streaming.
Be nice if they could just come up with a way to just do starter Ks,
right?
And just make relief Ks just its own category,
its own thing.
Yeah. Just do it that way, because that's all we're looking for anyway is Ks, right?
Right.
So ERA and WHIP, and that stuff all counts, right? But there's just, instead of saves, there's 2 K columns. Mm-hmm. Starter Ks and relief Ks.
Well,
although openers would screw that up, I guess.
Everything's screwed up. All right. Weekend streaming, last week, bad week. I guess it wasn't even our worst overall week for ERA, but that WHIP we've been bragging about took a hit. Took some big hits.
I don't remember all the guys we picked last week.
All right, well, I'll run them down. Our boy, more so my boy, Trevor Richards.
Yeah, I wasn't down on that one, so that's your boy.
You liked that start.
Yeah.
You didn't like how much I was in on him as a pickup.
Yeah.
But you were in on the start versus the Pirates.
Fair enough.
5 innings, 5 runs, 11 walks and hits, only 1 strikeout.
Yikes.
Obviously no win. Big game James Nelson, that was your boy.
Yep. I'll take that one.
And I pushed back, even though I picked him ultimately for weekend streaming too. But 4 innings, 4 runs, 8 walks and hits, 6 Ks.
Was he like 3 scoreless or 3 innings,
might
1
have been,
run?
yeah.
Because I was like, okay, things are fine.
Right. I had that last night in DFS with Mitch Keller.
Yeah.
Really let me down.
Never could have seen that coming.
Yeah, a guy with a 15.4. I was like, who's going to own Mitch Keller? Well, I learned the hard way. All right. Marlins, another Pablo Lopez, who's, I think, both of our boys at this point.
Yeah, he's a hold for me.
yeah.
Now I'm like starting him against the Cardinals and stuff.
Well, the Cardinals suck.
Yeah.
Jordan Yamamoto owns them.
I wish Corbin Burns could face these Cardinals.
Yeah, don't you? But he was against the Pirates. He was one of our pretty good ones. 7 innings, 3 runs, 8 walks and hits, 4 Ks. Got to win. That's great for a streamer. Framber, I already talked about him against the Blue Jays. 6 innings, 2 runs, 6 walks and hits, 8 Ks and a win.
Like it.
Very good. Samardzija, not great.
Shark.
5 innings, 4 runs, 11 walks and hits, 5 Ks.
Who was that against?
The Brewers.
Yeah, it's that streaming people against the Brewers is weird.
We just talked earlier.
I know it's fine to play your pitchers against them.
Okay.
To stream against them, that's a bit of a leap.
All right, fine. It was in San Francisco where he has a great home ERA.
Yeah.
All right. Martin Perez. You'll be hearing about him again here soon against the Royals. You'll be hearing about them again soon. He went 6 2/3, 4 runs, 7 walks, and hit 7 Ks. No win. I gave that one a push.
Yeah, that's pushing.
4 runs and 6 2/3, not great, but the other numbers are pretty good.
But if that's the 7th inning and
Yeah.
it's 4, it's a little bit better. It's not a good ERA.
You feel
but
way
it's
better.
fine.
Yeah. All right. And the last one, Chase Anderson at the Giants. The Giants, they're sick of getting picked on by us.
To get you here and there, they get you.
Yeah, but 4 innings, 3 runs, 9 walks and hits, 3 Ks.
9 whips.
Whips. So for the week, 5.97 ERA, 1.59 WHIP, 8.1 K per 9, 2 wins out of 7 guys, and 2 4-1, bringing our overall season totals to 4.11 ERA, 1.17 WHIP, which is still good, 9.3 K per 9, 16 wins with an asterisk, as Mike Fiers still hangs in the balance, and 23-11 and 3 overall.
Yeah, we were due for a bad week.
We were due for a bad
Due
week.
for a bad week.
All right,
We're going to go get them this week, though.
Let's get them. Let's start Friday night. Martin Perez at the Royals. He just faced them, but you know what? They're still not good against lefties.
We know why, because they can't run on lefties.
They can't. They get held on. They can't do their Royals things. Jorge Soler, though, man. I picked him 2 years in a row as the Royals sleeper, just largely because they didn't have any other good candidates. But I mean, it also was. I was like, this guy's eventually going to have a homer year.
Right. I mean, he's hitting like 245,
Right.
but he's got 19 dingers.
20, I think, didn't he? Just hit his 20?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I could use a guy like that, but it's
Right.
like you're sitting there in April or May, and you're like,
Yeah.
I'll hit home runs.
Well, especially
And
when
then-
everyone's hitting
And
homers.
then you look up in June, you're like,
Oh, he's still doing it.
man, he'd have more home runs than everyone on my
Yeah.
team, except for Trout.
Just still doing it.
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't like facing, but as we saw with Jordan Yamamoto, like you can lights out a team twice in a week, and even though it's on the road, it is a good park. You got beef with him?
No beef.
All
No
right.
beef at all. Next one, you had him, but this was my Friday night pick.
Okay, Mike Leake.
Mike Leake.
Go for it.
Going versus Baltimore, so he's in the friendly confines of
Safeco.
Safeco Field. T-Mobile
No, yeah,
Park.
I know.
T-Mobile Park, right?
I just whatever they're called.
Yeah, that's
originally,
Safeco. Some places just
I
just
still call
hold their name.
Jacobs Field. I still call.
There's certain ones.
Cleveland.
There's certain ones
Yeah.
that they're just that's Safeco because I don't really know that brand.
Right.
Supermarket, Safeco, a supermarket. I
I
think.
assume a bank. I assume everything's a bank. I don't know.
I feel like Safeco might be Safeway. Safeway
Yeah.
is a supermarket. All right, so I don't even know what Safeco
Safeco
is.
sounds like insurance.
So when I don't know what
right?
it is, I kind of just think it's the name of the park. You know.
See, I think it's insurance.
Anyway,
Yep, insurance.
Mike Leake versus Baltimore. Baltimore, we've talked about them before. They're not a good offense.
Definitely not on the road.
Definitely not on the road. They're 26 in OPS against righties. The road's about the same. Last 4 starts for Leake, 7 innings or more, 3 or less earned runs.
Yep.
20-2 strikeout to walk ratio. That's over 30 innings. He's not a strikeout guy.
Right.
But he's been solid for
Good spot.
a while now. It's a good spot.
Good spot. All right, Saturday now. We're moving. You didn't have any other Friday guys, right?
Nope.
All right. So this one, I don't know about this one because of the likes of Kevin Newman and Brian Reynolds. But Eric Lauer, Padres,
That top-heavy lineup.
Padres at Pirates. Look, I know some guys are hitting better, so maybe there's context to this, but they're 27th against lefties. They just haven't been good against lefties all year. Lauer's not great, but that's the classic stream, right? He's but it's a good matchup. It's in a pretty good park. Now, granted, it's not. I guess it's not as good of a park as he's used to pitching in.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't think he's going to have a late night in Pittsburgh. So I think he's going to be okay. So I'm going with him.
All right. That's cool.
All right.
I've streamed them before.
Yeah. Now you're taking.
I'm going back to the well.
Well, see, this guy though, he's owned in almost 60% of Yahoo.
But you know me, I'm grabbing ESPN numbers, and I got 44%, which is well under our 50% mark.
Still kind of high, but all right.
Lance Lynn, who's been, dare I say, like dominating lately?
Lance Lynn, right now,
it's inexplicable.
Is your Fangraphs leader in AL WAR among pitchers.
It's
the only pitcher ahead of him in all of baseball is Max Scherzer.
It's inexplicable. And here's the saddest part. I wish he was just on my team. I wish he was just on my team.
So this is what's so weird about him is like, a lot of times, so if I say like, hey, this guy's leading the AL pitchers in WAR, you're like, oh, he must have some crazy advanced numbers, right? Because it's got a 4.16 ERA.
Right.
But it's like, well, a FIP at 2.99, 9.9 K per nine, 2.3 walks, 0.8 homers, 345 BABIP. Something about it just doesn't make sense.
Well, something's going to give eventually. Lance Lynn is not going to put together
I guess so.
An amazing season. But I got him up against the White Sox. Not a great park at Texas, but, home cooking.
Great.
The White Sox are 23rd in the league OPS against righties.
Yeah.
So Lynn's gone 6+ innings in every start since April 28th.
Yeah, he's the best pitcher in the AL. I'm aware.
And he hasn't given up more than 3 earned runs since May 11th. So this is like a month and a half long kind of binge of just good starts. You mentioned the Ks. He's got 102 Ks in 93 innings. He should, you know what? The reason I brought him up, with being owned in 44% of the league, he should just be owned now.
Yeah. He's ownership, even in Yahoo, where it's 60.
I'm streaming him.
Should be 80
I'm streaming him
plus.
to point out you shouldn't be streaming him anymore.
Good.
He should just be pitching.
Man, that's next level.
I also needed someone for Saturday.
The top 3 pitchers in the AL in WAR, according to Fangraphs: Lance Lynn, Lucas Giolito, Matt Boyd. Like, why do we even bother?
And I'm surprised Odorizzi's not up there, too.
Yeah, why do we bother?
Because, Odorizzi and Lance Lynn are like veterans of my franchise. Like, in the history of me playing fantasy baseball, those guys have had a locker many a time.
But you go down,
and they've never been this good.
And then the next 3, you go Sale, Barrios, Cole. And you're like, okay, cool. 3 good pitchers. Right. Then Frankie Montas, Charlie Morton, Jake Odorizzi.
Yeah, I mean Morton's solid.
Well, yeah, Morton. Hey, that was another one we had, the Morton versus Sale Ks.
Right.
And Sale's ahead because he's like, the second best K pitcher in baseball this year, behind Cole. But Morton's.
Well, no, we had Sale versus Carrasco. It's Robbie Ray versus Morton.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's funny.
So Carrasco's done.
Before Carrasco got hurt, there was a point where I was filling out, doing updates.
Yeah.
And all 4 of those pitchers were within. Now, I think Sale and Carrasco were a little higher.
Right.
But Sale and Carrasco was within like 5 Ks of each other.
Yeah.
And then Ray and Morton were within like 2 Ks of each other.
Yeah, well,
so we were like right on with those.
Because Morton
4.
has a K per 9 of over 11.
Yeah.
He's doing work.
But Ray does it too.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's.
What's funny, Sale doesn't have the win-loss record, but Sale's numbers are getting.
Yeah.
They're right back to where they should be.
Absolutely.
And he's not going to win the Cy Young because his record's disgusting.
3-7.
His April was disgusting.
Yeah,
but
right now I think the odds-on favorite would have to be Giolito, but Cole's
and I
don't
think Sale. And I think Sale will probably still have a hiccup this year with the shoulder or something. But if he continues what he's doing now, it's going to be like. Can he finish 10-10 and have ridiculous stats and be in the running for Cy Young like DeGrom last year?
I don't think Cy Young, but
just because April was that bad.
I don't remember DeGrom being bad last year.
Right. Well, he wasn't.
Yeah, and so that's why it's like there's still, even though it'll be all the way back in April.
Right.
Like, I remember.
And it was so publicized.
Yeah.
But look, his WHIP's under 1.
He's awesome.
His WHIP's under 1.
I was never worried about him.
Oh, I was a little worried about injury, but
yeah, I guess so. But all right, Sunday. You're in the car, you're packed up. You don't like streaming Sundays.
Definitely not.
But I'm streaming a little bit on Sunday. And I'm going Spencer Turnbull, Tigers at Indians.
There's another guy
He's been around.
High in the pitching standings, and you're like, who?
He's been around. And the numbers have been pretty good all year, even though the advanced numbers haven't quite matched. But anyway, the Indians, they're still bad against righties. Now, they have hit him well twice this year, including, I think, his last start. So that's where you kind of get into is, do the Indians, do they
figure
just
him
have
out?
something? Or is, hey, third time's the charm? You know, I tried that logic. I believe it was it Happ? Pitching against the Orioles. He was already facing them for a fourth time, and in DFS, I was like, and all three had been bad.
Oh, yeah, that ain't gonna be good.
And I was like, come on, the Orioles? They can't have four good, and then they hit them, so I don't know. But yeah, I think it'll be fine. I wish it was a home start instead of a road start. And then the other one, look, the Giants got us twice last week, so we're due to get them. Merrill Kelly, D-backs at home against the Giants. Giants still aren't good, even though they hit some of our guys. And he's pitching really well. He's got stats over his last 3-4 starts that were similar to what you said for Leak. And I don't think he's that good a pitcher. I don't think he's worth owning, but he's pitching well right now. It's a good matchup. I wish it was in San Francisco.
Sure,
but,
yeah.
you know, we got burned in San Francisco last week. So.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
So before I'm gonna hop in the car, I did note I was gonna throw you a bonus one.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it.
So this is an official?
It's not an official unless you want it to be.
Well, you tell
I'm
me what
sure
it
you
is.
like the guy, and he pitched well last night. Is your boy Zach Plesac,
Okay.
who is going against Turnbull at home against the Tigers. We know the Tigers aren't a good lineup; they're not
No.
special. Plesac was real good last night against Texas. Last night being Tuesday, 7
Yeah.
innings, 2 hits, 5 walks. That's kind of gross. 6 Ks, only 1 earned run. It was on a homer. 3. He's gone 5 1/3 in all of his starts, which isn't necessarily great, but
Right.
he's 1 or 2 runs in all but one of his starts. He's got 5 starts.
Yeah. All right. He's on the list.
So now I'm streaming on Sunday.
He's streaming Sunday. This is your call. He's 41% owned in Yahoo, so he's still
right,
more
book
than
it.
makes the cut. All right. So we got 7.
You know what? I'm not going away this weekend, so I'm going to
as
be
well.
around. I'm going to be playing some kickball on Sunday.
Oh, God. You're an adult. Are you...
It's for charity.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Are you in Cam Newton's kickball thing?
No.
What are you doing? Like, what is it?
It's charity.
What charity?
Kickball thing for some friends.
The charity's for the friends, or they're putting it on?
No, they're putting it on.
Okay.
They're putting it on. Yeah,
not-
20 team kickball tournament.
Oh,
It's
wow.
no joke.
Kickball. All right.
Okay, well, you sit home on Sunday and don't give it to charity. Who wins that one?
I can give charity sitting at home.
You can give charity?
I can give to charity while
Okay.
sitting at home.
All right.
That's actually how most people do it.
Well, I want to show my support, not just pay my
Yeah,
support.
you just want to relive your childhood sports glory dreams as an adult
on the kickball field.
on the kickball diamond. All right, let's go to closers. Let's hop on the carousel. Most interesting one to me, anyway, is the Reds.
Got a little more interesting last night.
we talked about this a few weeks ago. Iglesias was not happy with his usage this year, and it seemed to sort of settle things down. And he had been decent and was closing, and it was semi-normal.
Fine, everyone's just going along with their
And then all of a
their
sudden,
life.
Monday night, it looks like he's coming in for a 5-out save. He didn't even really do anything bad. I mean, I guess he walked a couple guys and then gets the hook. He's
But wise
pissed.
manager bringing him in for a 5-out save.
Right. So he gets the hook. He's pissed. And Lorenzen gets the save. And then after the game, it's like, look, I just didn't think he had it, basically. I just thought, Lorenzen gave us the better chance to
But
win.
I also didn't he say something too about it was kind of a vote of confidence,
Right.
all right? He's
Absolutely.
still our guy.
Hey, we're just doing what we think we need to do to win games. Next night, save situation. Yay, setup guy. Lorenzen save.
Right.
So-
Well, Iglesias pitched in the 8th,
Right.
struck out both guys he faced.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, that was like a straight setup guy thing.
Yeah.
That it was Lorenzen for the final.
I don't think you can use Lorenzen as your closer, though. He's too valuable pinch running and playing center field at other parts of the game.
It's a modern MLB.
Here's the deal. Here's what you do. You pinch run him in the 8th,
Yeah.
right? How about this for... Now, this would be a guy who can control his own destiny. He pinch runs in the 8th, scores the leading run,
Yeah.
plays center in the 8th, the other half of the inning, right? Because they're going to use their setup man.
Sure.
And then closes it down in the 9th.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it, in our industry, you have to be versatile.
Yeah.
Why not baseball? All right. So the bottom line is, are you picking up Lorenzen? Are you worried about Iglesias?
Yeah, a little bit of both.
Yeah, I think you got to pick
A little
him
bit
up.
of both.
I think you got to be worried. He seems to me like the kind of guy who, if he were to get traded, he wouldn't be a closer wherever he goes. I can't imagine anyone trading for him making him a closer.
No.
I think he's in a real dicey
You don't think he
spot
closed
right
for the Twins?
It'd be half and half.
Yeah.
I mean, I think with Rogers. But yeah, so I think he's in a weird spot. The bottom line is I think you have to pick up Lorenzen.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So that's a weird one. And now I'm going to do the Twins because it just looks like basically Taylor Rogers is the closer.
Yeah, it just happened.
It just
Right when I made that trade. I'm still going back to that was a great trade.
But imagine if you could have somehow just traded Parker and kept Rogers. How great that would have been.
Even better. We pulled that move before.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
You probably couldn't have though, right? Like the Rogers was.
I feel like that's what made. Yeah.
So. Yeah, Parker just really hasn't been very good lately. Rogers is just coming in, right? He's like, they brought him in to face J.D. Martinez. They brought in a lefty to face J.D. Martinez last night. It's clear they think he's the best pitcher. I wouldn't be surprised if you still see a random someone else get a save here or there, whether it's Trevor May, whether it's maybe Parker or someone else. But it just feels like Rogers is the closer now, and he's pitching pretty well.
Seems like it. I mean,
it looked like 2 weeks ago he was kind of struggling.
Right.
And that looked like, all the better for Parker. I still think they're trading for Will Smith, though, and it's all kind of moot. But, all right, let's get to the Red Sox. Brazier's back. Closed last Thursday. Josh Smith gets a save. It's a total free-for-all.
He closed first game back off of, was he on paternity, bereavement?
Right, yeah.
He wasn't injured, but he'd been out for about a week. First game back, bullpen was a little tired. Mm-hmm. I think it was 2-0 game.
Yeah.
2-0 game, save situation, done. Okay, cool. Brazier, they're not worried about it. Last night, 7th inning.
Right.
So,
and then what? Who was it? Was it Workman who gave up the tying run in the 8th?
I think so.
Yeah.
And Barnes got in trouble in the 9th, but he got out of it.
Right.
It's the same Red Sox conversation we've been having every week.
It really is. And it really is to the point now where
it's so messy, but again, they're okay pitchers.
Right.
But they've proven they are not putting a guy in the 9th.
Right. So yeah, without question.
They could trade.
They could trade, for sure.
They could trade.
Rays, we had a Castillo with the last save.
Yeah, Alvarado was down in Venezuela for over a week.
Which would worry me.
Yes, anytime you spend time in Venezuela. And then when they're he was going to be back in a couple days, and nah, it's a little longer, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
What happened down there?
There's a lot to worry about.
So, Castillo hasn't been as good lately either, though.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Who knows who's
Race
getting
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Both of them worth owning.
Mariners, we had an Elias got the last save. But that's still the same.
All I can say there is that Hunter Strickland's been cleared to throw again.
Yeah.
So he'll start.
Strickland watch.
He'll start to revamp his rehab.
Right.
I don't know, maybe a couple weeks. Got something there, maybe.
Closing for a crappy team that still has some trades to make.
By the time he gets, I'd be like, all right, I've been holding on to Strickland for months. He's back. There's no one on the team anymore.
Yeah, there's a lot of J.P. Crawford. So that's about it. Is there any other closer?
Let's see. Well, we missed this. I don't know if we missed this one last week or it happened after we taped, but Giles went out last week.
That's right. Yeah.
But Toronto doesn't really get many save opportunities.
No.
I'm not sure they really have a guy. I think they used Daniel Hudson one night. Biagini's kind of around.
Giles' numbers are sick this year.
They are.
Yeah.
Because Toronto finally decided to use him only as a closer,
right?
Which is what Houston couldn't figure out. Even though the guy didn't blow saves for Houston, he blew non-saves.
How much does it help to be a team that's not a contender and you're just whatever?
Those low leverage saves.
And look, lots of good karma in that city right now. He's probably feeding off.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Kawhi.
I'm sure he's feeding out. He could be traded.
Ken Giles?
Yeah.
Or Kawhi.
Well, Kawhi's gone, but Ken Giles can be traded. He's another guy. Could be a twin.
But that's the classic. When a contender trades for Ken Giles, I feel like it's going to be a mistake. I think Kenny G needs to play that sweet music for a non-contender.
What else? Well, there's
I'm using that as the
Rockies. Wade Davis came back. Did he get pulled the other night in the 9th? Wade Davis and didn't give the ball to the manager.
Yeah, or something. Yeah. Speaking of weird things on the mound for closers, did you see Kenley Jansen last week? The intentional balk.
No, what?
Runner on second. It's a 2-run game. Runner on second, and it's Jason Hayward. And he was really kind of getting annoyed. Dancing and Jansen looking back, and you could tell it was bugging him. And he strikes out the batter. So now there's 2 outs. And he turns, you can read his lips. He gets the ball, turns to the other infielders and says, "I'm going to balk."
Okay.
And then he did this weird, almost like a 2-step on the mound.
He didn't know how to balk.
Yeah, he did this weird, and then he just looks at Hayward and motions for him to go to third.
Just get out of my...
He's like, go
But you know
third.
what's funny? As a right-hander, he's in the same amount of your way at third,
Right.
as he is.
But
at
he's
second.
not stealing signs.
I guess. Yeah.
That's
Do you
the
think he
big
was
thing.
stealing signs or dancing around?
It was
Maybe
just,
thought
I
he
think it was
stealing
because he
signs.
didn't like stealing signs,
Yeah.
and Jansen's, and he's like, look, we're up 2, your run doesn't matter. And never seen it before in my life.
I like stuff like that though.
Me too.
Not to be like, I don't like the throwing at people and
Right.
all that crap, but I like manipulating the runners or whatever
Right.
when they don't matter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just
Because I guess you could argue that his run doesn't matter anyway.
that's what I'm saying.
But you could be like, well, hey, there's only 1 out. We don't want him to score on a sack fly because then tying.
Right,
runs
so at
to
2
play.
outs,
Yeah.
it's less matters. It matters
Right.
less. It's like the Barry Bonds walking in with the bases loaded back in
Right.
the day when you were up by enough runs. Like, yes, I'm all for that
Right.
stuff. I'm all for that stuff.
I just love that he looked and he was like, but I loved how he was like, get to third.
Yeah.
I was like, I gotta wait for the ump to call it.
Right.
Technically, bro. I would have really got over the top. Like I would have done a
done
whole
something
fake
crazy.
wind
Just
up.
make me have fun with it.
Yeah, but it was.
Do like a windmill.
Oh, I'd have been like the Chappelle show, you know, when he does the and one mixtape for other sports. Pull it back. But so that was cool. But anyway, yeah. So that's about all that's going on, right?
Yeah, I mean, and I could have thought of something else to podcast about today, but we
Well,
just
we
don't
got
have
lots of things to talk about. I mean,
Big Brother
big
Cat.
time.
I mean, it's about to get real. It's Big Brother season next week. It's
Yeah.
Whisper season.
whisper season. I can't every year. I'm always like, oh no. It takes over your life. It's
It's
on
an internship.
so much.
It's a summer internship.
And I don't get paid.
You get paid in enjoyment.
Do I?
No, every year, I don't have a problem with the time commitment. Every year I look at the cast.
Well, yeah.
And I'm just
And
like,
you hate
there's
everyone.
no way I'm going to like this one.
Actually, yeah, I know.
And you end up liking somebody by default.
guess so.
But you always still look back at the glory years and you're like, I like that whole cast.
Yeah.
That cast turned out. And I look at these people, I'm like, there's no hope.
Boy, their
no hope.
bios are. They really need to hire someone to write their bio for them.
A marketing agency.
Yeah.
They should be better at it. They're all branding themselves on Instagram.
All about brands. Yeah, I don't know why. But I guess that what we think is awful is what plays well.
Yeah.
So
Are you going to watch?
We're the ones who are out
Right.
of touch.
Are you going to watch with an eye on like recruiting talent for the
Absolutely.
challenge? Like, are you going to be watching these people being like, that's a challenge
Absolutely.
prospect?
That's how I watched last year. So, yeah, lots of good stuff coming up. But we will be back next week. We'll be talking fantasy baseball. We won't bore you with Big Brother
Unless you
thoughts.
want to be bored with.
Well, it's going to be before the premiere, right? So
It'll probably be the night. Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
probably.
so.
It should start Wednesday. We'll take Wednesday.
people will be saved by that. But in the meantime, if you want to know, you can go to Eric's personal Big Brother blog, find out his exact thoughts. And for any fantasy baseball stuff, go to sportnews.com.
You can go to Matt's blog for that.
Oh, yeah, I guess. That's basically, our site's basically my blog. So
Personal Sport News is just like, hey man,
fantasy baseball blog.
do whatever you want.
Yeah, so you can get more thoughts on those K per 9 middle relievers that are going to make or break your league.
Good stuff.
So, for Rick Ferreira, I'm Matt Latowski. Thanks for listening, and until next time.